thanks for joining, Desiree and Scott.
Thank you for having me.
And first, congratulations on achieving every horror filmmaker's dream of creating an anthology movie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So yeah, tell me about Bad Candy.
It's fucking rad.
That's what I want to hear.
If I can't say that, it's super.
We'll bleep you. Well, for people who haven't, watched the trailer or anything, just give me a quick description of what the film is.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, it's a fun film about a weird ass town in New Salem with this clown called Bad Candy that he's the protector of Halloween, and there's vigilantes, there's witches, there's necrophilia, there's revenge porn, all kinds of fun stuff. So it's just a weird, wild town on Halloween.
So since this is an anthology film, how did you approach the writing? Do you have like specific scenes or characters you thought were compelling, then wrap them around Paul and Chili Billy?
We actually didn't write it as an anthology. I originally laid it out as different people connected into different storylines because we really wanted to just show this environment, this world, and how people are connected. Like in similar movies like Love Actually and Crash, people connect with other people and it helps world building.
And so how many days did you have for principal photography on this? Did you shoot this all at once or did you do it like broken up?
We had to break it up because it was the schedules of trying to get everybody on the same.
The locations, the actors, just financing. Like we financed a lot of this stuff like ourselves. So we even had somebody pass away,
Oh geez, yeah.
Oh yeah, one of our actors that we had slated
Sid Haig.
away, and
Sid Haig was actually slated to be.
God, I such a fan of his. That's so sad.
And he was such a sweetheart. Every time you would see him,
Luckily, Zach filled in for Sid Haig, but we were talking. Sid had the script for a couple of years, and he was just about to finish Three from Hell, and he just got really bad, and he passed away months after that.
Yeah, I've heard from anybody who's worked with him that he was just such a great guy to have around on set.
Obviously, if you've seen the movie, if you think about Sid Haig in it, you're like, whoa, and that would have been great. I think Zach killed it.
We're very, very happy with Zach and Corey. They did an amazing job. They were actually contenders for it, and it just worked out to. We're very happy. We were very excited to get that news that they were on board.
So, I mean, it was a lot of roles to fill. There's a lot of different characters in this. How did you approach the casting?
With a lot of migraine medicine. The
ensemble, 7 months.
The ensemble was very important to us because diversity actually means something to me. Like it really does. And I wanted to have a cast of real people. We wanted to have different people from different backgrounds fulfill all these different roles to really fulfill out this world. I'm not a big fan of like whitewashing an entire film or however you want to do it. I don't think that that's like an angle that interests us for our storytelling techniques. Plus it's more believable if you have actual diversity in your project.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like a lot of the roles were casted really well. I mean, it just felt like people felt very natural in it. Yeah.
Yeah, and some of the veterans in the vigilante scene with the Pumpkinheads, they were actually Afghanistan war veterans.
Yeah, actual veterans, and it
was interesting to have their real take on things.
I mean, that was personally my favorite scene of the whole thing, especially the Dracubus. I mean, that the creature effects were really well done. Was that Wayne Anderson? Is that who did the effects?
Anderson is fucking talented AF. Oh my God, he's incredible. And the things that he's done with what he's in the short period, he's really been active in the community. He's great. He's like been a long-time friend of ours. So it was an honor to have him.
Nice.
Well, yeah, we like to tell people like he was just like, he works on big movies. He did The Predator, he did Jurassic World. He literally came off of Avatar 2 and flew from New Zealand straight to our film, which was, we're indie. We don't have $10-20 million. This is like super indie movie. So to get somebody of his stature to come play with us for a couple of days,
that's amazing. So which segment was the most challenging to shoot then? I mean, I felt like a lot of these as an indie filmmaker myself, I was like, wow, this would have been a tough day.
The most challenging one I would say is the house, the end.
Okay, yeah.
Because we had to shoot everything during the day,
Yeah.
and then shoot everything exactly at night. And
It was all measured.
that is a lot of measurements. That's a lot. And, and you're working with a crew that's been doing it. And we kept, majority of our crew stayed the same for the entire film, obviously give or take a few switch up days here and there, but we were tired at the end of that.
Oh, I bet.
That was a 3-day back-to-back gauntlet. And then the vehicle that breaks down in the movie actually broke down at the end of that night.
Oh, did you write that into the script, or did you just?
No, actually, it's funny because that was in the script.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the last night, when we were packing up and leaving there, the vehicle, we actually purchased the vehicle, so we owned it, and we were driving back to base, and it just died on the side of the road, and we had to get it towed. And it was just funny because the PA that was driving it was like, hey, so the van's not accelerating anymore and I'm gonna have to stop. And I was following him as like, we never leave a man behind for those reasons. So yeah, it worked out.
For me, the Pumpkinhead shoot was crazy because it was in January in Atlanta, and it's rainy season, and it literally poured like 3 or 4 inches before we started shooting. And then, I like to do this little trick where we didn't tell anybody about the monster. So we basically we casted all the people to wear these pumpkin heads. They all have ball gags. They're all bounded by their wrists. And it's 30 some degrees and just finished raining, and they have to interact with the giant bat creature with a 20-foot wingspan. So
that they've never seen.
They were more reacting than acting, which I think played really well, because a lot of them were scared shitless because it was just like, hey, turn around. Yeah, they were like, starting to run and trip over each other, and just, man.
And then it started
snowing. Yeah, it snowed like halfway through the shoot, and we had to rake the snow away, and it was just one of those nights where it was like all night.
I was saying, as an indie filmmaker, that's God hates filmmakers.
Yes, he does.
You're worshiping the wrong gods, my friend.
Well, so the fight scenes and stunts, I know that on a small indie film, like that can be really challenging because you don't have as much rehearsal time and filming time. So what was it like filming those scenes, especially with the vigilantes?
Yeah, we had a great stunt coordinator. We didn't have a big crew or anything. It was all like a couple people, but we
kept it as safe as absolutely possible. Like we were not going to risk anybody's physical well-being or mental well-being by doing stupid stuff. We definitely wanted to make sure
we had pads, and a lot of the stuff, and
correct rigging and stuff. Yeah.
But yeah, Derek was great. Derek Russo was our stunt coordinator for all the fight scenes, and he was really safe with we had a lot of real weapons and fake weapons. The spears, all that stuff was real, like most of those were real.
We had a welder.
Yeah, all the funny things.
Nice.
What indie film has a welder? This one.
I'm jealous. Well, so is there anything that like didn't make the cut that you just wish you had either more time, but you just said, listen, we got to just leave this out of the final cut?
We had a scene with witches. We just
would have added to the milieu for sure.
Honestly, at the end of the day, like
we ran out of time.
Strengthened scene and time budget. Another day. Another project.
Sequel, so maybe it'll pop in there.
Maybe into the next one, right?
Yeah, maybe in the sequel.
Speaking of which, what is next for you two?
Well, I'm actually wrapping out an entire project today and tomorrow as my wrap days, and then after that we're going to take some time off and write the next 4 projects for the rest of the year, and then hopefully by January, February pick which one we want to start filming next.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yep. Cool. And then so where can our audience see Bad Candy? Where is it going to be available?
It's in select
theaters.
on the 10th. It's in like 15 cities, and then on the 14th it's going to be on VOD, and then Blu-ray,
iTunes. You can pre-order
iTunes is right away. Blu-ray is like the 28th, I think, September. Yeah.
Nice. Just in time for some good Halloween viewing.
Absolutely.
So what is going to be on your Halloween must-watch list this year?
Ooh, For me, I mean, we always watch Trick or Treat every year.
Of course, yeah.
Dracula.
Watch all the Del Toro movies. Watch the classics.
Yeah, we love Del Toro. I'm a huge James Cameron fan. Aliens, I gotta watch that. You know.
I always like to start with The Fog because I feel like it's such a good setting to, like, you know, a guy telling us a ghost story on the beach. That's like usually one of my first to start with of the season.
Where are you from?
Well, I'm from New York originally, lived in Portland for years, and I just, because of the pandemic, had to relocate to Idaho. So I'm talking to you from Star, Idaho.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. I can see how Fog would be, you know.
Well, honestly, I miss the coast so much. I grew up on the coast. So like that also is like for me,
we're both beach kids.
Yeah.
I grew up in Florida and Scott grew up in Virginia Beach. So
where are you located now?
Atlanta.
Atlanta. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's a great place to be if you're going to be doing filmmaking. Lots of
Yes.
resources.
Yes, that's why we're actually here.
We have to move to compound the Atlanta stuff. So.
Great. Yeah, I taught for a while, and I would always tell my students, like, go to where the work is. And so the last few years, I was telling them, go to, you know, Atlanta's a great spot. You should go check it out. So also any influences for this film that you really felt like you were, you know, watching movies or reading books or whatever to like get you in the right mindset and for inspiration?
Honestly, no, we try not to be like other people. We try to do our own original thing. We try to do stuff that no one's done before. And even if they might have attempted it, we did it better or attempted to do it better.
I would say, though, if I had to be influenced, obviously we love dark comedy and Sam Raimi. And for you, for Desiree, Mel Brooks. Like we love.
Mel Brooks is the reason why I'm in film.
Listen, I understand. Like Young Frankenstein is just on like constant repeat in my household. Yeah.
History of the World Part 1. Thank you.
Yeah.
I would say I'm yes, totally. And I would say I'm more the horror person than Desiree, but she's the comedic approach, and that's why we vibe pretty well together. Is like, you know,
our comedy works for us really
well. Yeah, well, I do feel like when you're gonna have comedy, it makes the horror more scary. When you have the horror makes the comedy more fun.
You can't take horror too seriously. Sometimes you take these Exorcist movies way too serious and they just come out funny or you know, it's like without comedy, it just makes it more, it buttons it up. It makes it more watchable and more enjoyable.
Yeah, it's more fun. It's more fun if you can laugh at it. Like if you can
agreed.
Because here's the thing is not everybody's ideal scare level sits at the same. You'll have people that like jump at the smallest things and you're like, that was nothing, but for other people it was. So having the wave of like a little bit of humor drops in there kind of like eases some people.
I love the roller coaster. Yeah.
And then brings you right into the next story. And before you know it, you're already in it. And it's like, oh shit.
So my tolerance is very high for horror, and I always forget this. Like I'll put one on while I'm going to sleep at night, and my wife, who's like tolerance is very low, I'll fall asleep like halfway through, and then she can't go to sleep because she's so scared, so she has to finish the movie. And it's a constant battle in my household.
Yeah.
But I think we're pretty much out of time. Any last words to the audience before we say goodbye?
Thank you for watching our film.
You're dead.
All right. Cool.
Yeah,
thanks, guys.
Respect the Halloween gods, and they will respect you.
Wonderful. All right. Thanks, Desiree and Scott.
Appreciate
it. Thank you.